Very much, Mr Acting Deputy Speaker. You would think from this motion and listening to those opposite that Labor is the best friend of superannuation. Yet nothing could be further from the truth. Far from being the best friend of superannuation, Labor has wreaked havoc on our superannuation system from the moment of its inception until today. Those on the other side have a very short memory. During Labor's time in office, Labor actually announced increased taxes on superannuation of almost not $1 billion, not $2 billion, not $3 billion, no, $9 billion, including cutting superannuation benefits for lower income earners by more than $3.3 billion. Moreover, Labor, far from making it easy for people to make voluntary contributions to their superannuation, far from making it easier for people to be able to provide for themselves in their own retirement, Labor made it more difficult. It made it more difficult by lowering the thresholds before which people would then be penalised for making additional contributions into their own superannuation, into their own retirement. We have been entirely consistent on superannuation. We said before the election what we were going to do, and we are sticking to that promise. We said that we would increase the superannuation guarantee from 9% to 12%, and we are doing that. But in recognition of the very difficult fiscal environment that we found ourselves in as a result of Labor's recklessness with our budget and their continued recklessness in borrowing here and there, particularly from superannuates with those $9 billion of taxes I just spoke about, the budget is in desperate need of repair, and we need to make sure that we increase the guarantee in a more gradual way. So instead of increasing from 9% to 12% in 7 years, that is from 2013 to 14 to 2019-20, the superannuation guarantee rate will increase from 9% to 12% in 13 years, from 2013 to 14 to 2025 to 26. We are keeping our commitment and we are honouring our obligations. But Labor, of course, don't acknowledge their role in the superannuation fiasco that they created. In fact, Labor have had about as many different positions as there are perhaps in the Kama Sutra. In fact, the Leader of the Opposition had quite a few flexible positions, and I'll just point out that he himself does sometimes get hit by the honesty stick, and he sometimes does say what is truly in his heart. And he did point out on superannuation, when he was Minister for Financial Services and Superannuation in government, that increases in compulsory superannuation come out of people's wages. Now, these aren't my words, although I do agree with them. These are the Leader of the Opposition's words. That is Bill Shorten's quote. So, despite what those opposite have said, it does directly impact workers' wages to increase the superannuation guarantee. Now, those opposite can be cavalier about the impact that this may have on individuals and their families and their retirement savings. We, on this side of the House, are not so cavalier. We believe it's important for people to be able to save up and be self-reliant, and we will support them in that endeavour to do just that. That is why we have always made it easier for people to be able to make voluntary contributions to their superannuation. We have always made it more tax effective for them to do so, to provide them with the right incentives to put money aside. And it is clear that that has been having a significant impact. No thanks to Labor, but thanks to the previous coalition government and thanks to the previous economic management of the previous coalition government. Well, we take up that same mantle here in this parliament, in this government, and we will continue our commitment to superannuation for the welfare of all Australians.
I thank the member for Higgins.